What's going on, gents and ladies who might be listening? Nigel Hunt here, the intellectual douchebag, come to you with yet another video. And this is a video that I've been meaning to produce for some time now. And the title of this video: Black single mothers prepare their daughters for success, but not their sons. I can't count how many times I've heard a black woman say with her, or fix her mouth up to say, "You black men have nothing. You build nothing. We're ahead of you." And this is true to some extent. I remember back at the beginning of this month, my own mother said, well, the women are ahead of the men now. The women are ahead of the men. And this is after we were having a discussion, coming back from dinner. We'd taken my stepfather out for his birthday. One of her friends from her church was getting married, an older woman, and we were discussing marriage, and I put my input in that, well, these days more and more men are walking away from that institution, so less and less women are getting married. And one of the main reasons I stated to her that a lot of these men are not getting married is because marriage is a great financial risk to men. If there's a divorce, the man's going to be raked over the coals. And that's when she was, well, right now, the women are ahead of the men. The women are ahead of the men. And I had to smile to myself, because this is the woman that raised me saying this. And keep in mind that I'm her only son. And this woman worked at some very high-end companies, had some very, high positions. Vice president, director. And not once growing up did she put any type of effort when I was going to school, when I was trying to get myself out there, to use her network to get me into a place where I could be making good money. That way, if I were to have a family, I were to have kids, I'd be in a position where I can provide a better quality of life for my children if I had decided to go that route than I had. But these women, they don't give a shit about their sons. And my mother, she is proof of this. Where I got to in life, I did on my own, without any direction or any help from her. And I know that this is the case with many black men. See, the black community is a matriarch, meaning the women are the head of the household. And these women don't see the importance of empowering a man. A lot of times, these women have feelings of resentment and bitterness to their sons, because in some cases, the son looks exactly like the father, the man that she chose to get impregnated by, the man that was not good father material. So the father's nowhere around, and this young boy, who unfortunately bears the resemblance of this man, is usually the object of this woman's anger, frustration, hatred. Back in 2012, I took a trip to Miami, and I have a relative that lives out there. He introduced me to one of his friends, another black man, light-skinned black man, who came out there penniless years ago, started his own business, and is doing good for himself. When I last saw him, he was about to buy a Ducati motorcycle. Anyway, he shared with us how his mother was very abusive to him because he looked exactly like his father. This woman used to beat him until he bled. And to this day, this brother has a hatred for dark-skinned black women because of his mother. But in spite of his upbringing, and I respect this brother, he still did good for himself. Just like me, in spite of my mother's neglect and her lack of putting any effort whatsoever into raising me and preparing me to succeed in the world, I still managed to get out there and did what I can for myself, to where I'm standing on my own 2 feet. So the black man from birth really does not have many allies in this life, even in the case of his own mother. And you wonder why, black women, that so many black men out here don't trust black women at all. It starts from the upbringing. Because I'll be honest, I really don't have any trust for black women these days. I've seen too much. But let me go deeper into this video. I want to really break down how black single mothers prepare their daughters for success, but not their sons. So I discussed how single black mothers really don't put any effort into preparing their sons for the world. They could care less. Because a lot of times, when they look at their sons, they see the father who is MIA. Many times these women, they harbor a lot of resentment towards their sons because of the father. So they don't identify with their sons. Many of them, they just want to feed and shelter the son, and as soon as he's 18, get him the hell out of the house. Because she did her job. When it comes to their daughter, there's a whole different story. See, in their daughters, they see themselves. And their daughters, they want to prepare their daughters so they never have to depend on a man. So for her daughter, she'll do everything. She'll make sure that her daughter or her daughters have all the tools they need to succeed. And she'll also get her sisters, the girls' aunties, to rally around the daughter. So they'll make sure that she has the best education, and they'll make sure that she takes the right path when it comes to career. Sometimes these women are working in healthcare. So they'll fill their daughters in on the ins and the outs of that industry. And when the daughter gets her certification, going through school or what have you, they'll be able to use their network to get this woman into a high position. See, the black woman, unlike the black man from birth, has a lot of tools and a lot of people at her disposal to get her where she is. This is why the black women are ahead of the men. And a black woman wins every time because she comes from a single black parent home. She'll have a woman who want to empower her as much as possible, because she doesn't trust any man for her daughter. She doesn't want her daughter to be in a position where she has to depend on a man. This is why she does what she does, and will break her back to make sure that her daughter succeeds in life. Ironically, if it's a single black father who has a daughter and is raising his daughter, he too does not want his daughter depending on any man, so he will do everything that he can to make sure that his daughter is successful. But who looks out for the black man? The black man is on his own. So when you have these neck snapping, finger slashing sisters that come in front of your face and tell you, well, we black women are ahead of you, that was because you were prepared. You had people who went ahead of you and prepared the way for you. That's why you're ahead. And you men, you don't build anything, you don't own anything. Again, the foundation was never laid for us. But then I want you to do something when they come to you. I want you to say something. Look that sister in her face and say, okay, well, yeah, I don't own anything. I don't control anything. But I never had that foundation laid for me. Whereas you have. You are the one who is groomed for success in this world. Whether it be your mother or your father or your aunties, they all rallied behind you so that you have the job that you do, you're on the path that you're on, and you can say this bullshit to me. But with all that, you don't own anything either. What do you own? What are you building? I guarantee you she won't have an answer for you, because women are not builders. And that's why the black community is where it is. One of the major reasons why. Yeah, the women are in charge. The women have been in charge for a long time. And we as a whole, as a black community, whatever the hell that is, have not made any real progressions overall. At least not to the point where the black community is a major economical force. What trips me out about this whole thing is the short-sightedness of these women. If you look at any community of any other race, whether it be white, Asian, Indian, you name it, it's the men who are the builders. The men are the one who go out there and build the industry, where the jobs are created, where that community moves forward. If you have a community where the men are not building, the women are in charge, and the women are just consuming, that community will never move forward. You'll never see the industries coming out of that particular community that's going to push, that's going to create the jobs, that's going to push that community forward and make it a major economical force. And what type of industry are you going to get out of these black women who are, quote unquote, ahead of the men? A salon, maybe? Or a catering business? You'll never see a company like Sony be created by the hands of black women. Or some kind of major software company. You're never going to see that happen. See, the neglect that these women have for their sons and their inability or lack of desire to invest in these boys' lives so they can go out there and compete, that affects all of us. In their short-sightedness, they don't see this. And the damage that they did will be felt for many generations. I mean, we're seeing it now. So you black women out there, you can keep celebrating the fact that you're ahead, that black men are behind, and they don't own anything. And then we'll see what you'll do when your job dries up, when these companies are no longer hiring black women, and we have no company to run to because the black men have not built anything, because the black men were never empowered by the black women that raised them. See, this shit affects us all. And at some point, when the economy takes a downturn, which it will, black men tend to be the first to go, followed very quickly by the black women. And when you're out on your ass with no prospects, because your men haven't built anything, that's when your mettle is going to be tested. And we'll really see what you're made of. Anyway, I think that's all I got for this video. Please be sure to rate, comment, and share on social media. Please help me to help this channel to grow. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Plenty more videos to come. This is Nigel Hunt, the intellectual douchebag. And I'm out of here, goddammit. I'm out. Till next time.